Good afternoon and welcome to a warm summer's evening here in Bellissima Toscana. This is race 2, round 4 of the Italian F4 Championship as the sun starts to set over the MotoGP circuit of Mugello. Race 1 this morning won by Freddie Slater, who overtook Jack Beaton on the penultimate lap to take his 8th victory of the season. Halfway through this race, 15 minutes in, we will reach the halfway point of this, the 2024 Italian F4 Championship. Of course, the Euro 4 Championship, the 3-round challenge series, that's back here at Mugello in just over a month's time. But for now, it is round 4 of the Italian Championship. Before we race, let's go down and hear from the Singaporean driver, the Alpine F1 Junior, Kabir Anurag.
So Kabir, car 19, starting grid 19. This will be tough. Can you make the top 10?
I think the goal will be to just get as many positions as we can. Of course, results is in mind, but just got to make every opportunity and every good decision. And I think wherever we finish, I'll just be happy if I have a good race.
Good luck.
Kabir Anurag, one of 2 Alpine F1 Academy junior drivers, the other being one of 2 Japanese drivers, Kin Nakamura Berta, who starts a little bit further up the grid on the 4th row of the grid. Kabir Anurag, yes, car 19, starting on grid 19. He's just a row ahead of one of 2 Serbian drivers in the field, Andrea Kostic. We'll try and hear from Andrea in just a moment in car 8 for the Van Amersfoort racing team. Former Rotax Max Grand Finals champion of the world. Just starting a row behind Kabir. We may actually run out of time because the teams and Laura have been asked to leave the grid, which is a shame. We were looking forward to hearing from Andrea in car 8, who starts on the 11th row of the grid. We'll let his driving do the talking, if you'll forgive the cliche. There is Freddie Slater to the bottom left of your screen. He starts on pole position. He is the championship leader. We'll check out the championship points as we go through the race. But this is the grid for race 2. Fast Freddie on pole position. Rashid Al-Daheri. Grid 2 for the Emirati. Akshay Border, position 3. That is where the Singaporean Indian finished this morning for US Racing. And Hyo Yamakashi, the first of the 2 Japanese drivers, still second in the championship. Gustav Jonsson, a great run in qualifying yesterday, starts grid 5 and grid 2 tomorrow morning. Alex Powell, third in the series. Kin Nakamura Berta, the Alpine F1 Academy junior driver, and Dion Gauda, starting from the outside 4th row of the grid for the Prema Racing team here this evening. We go to Jack Beaton, who heartbreakingly lost the lead on the penultimate lap of the race this morning, finishing P2. It was still a great podium. Thomas starts alongside the Queenslander, then Enya Frey, Ethan Isha, the 2 Swiss drivers for the Swiss team, Enya and Isha for Jensen Motorsport, ahead of the 2 US racing drivers. Let's say it for the first time today, the boy from Brazil, Matias Ferreira, Gianmarco Pradel, who's been under the weather. He's actually been quite ill this weekend. Car 12, Olivieri is next. And it's Maxi Marema, Rino Franco, Davide Larini, the Tuscan here in Tuscany. Kabir, who just spoke to Laura a few moments ago. Luca Vistoriano, who finished a strong 11th and took a rookie podium at Vallelunga 3 weeks ago. Maximilian Popov for the PHM racing team. Andrea Kostic, the 2nd Serbian. Lin Hodenuis, the Van Amersfoort racing team. At Enzo Ye on track after a brick crash on the start-finish line of the penultimate lap of the race this morning. Rodella and Kamal Marad. Edu Robinson, first year in the Italian F4 Championship. Andrea Petrovic, PHM Racing, the 2nd Serbian. Oscar Wirtz makes his debut, the youngest of the 3 Wirtz brothers. Felix Charlik and young Oscarino Everett Stack from Virginia in the United States of America. Omar Aldriana, Filippo Fiorentino, a DNF this morning for the Brazilian. Nathaniel Berabi, Alexander Savinkov, Gabriel Holguin, and Viktor Dobzhansky. AS Motorsport, the pole out of grid 36 in car 64 for the Slovenian team. Freddie Slater on pole position and is the championship leader as well. Just leading the field on the formation lap down through Arrabbiata 1 and 2. The bottom part of the circuit. Not too far from the public road, which once was the original race circuit right up until 1970. The incredible original track The lap record still held by the great Arturo Mezzario, who still gets behind the wheel these days. Lapping, it was a 67-kilometre circuit, would you believe? Going through the nearby town, Scaparia, into Mugello. Basically goes past the front gate of this Mugello circuit, inaugurated back in 1974. Host of the Italian MotoGP, the Tuscan Formula One Grand Prix, the International Formula 3000 Championship, A1GP in years gone by, the Super League Formula, DTM, just about every major motor racing championship in the world. And this weekend, the fourth round of the Italian F4 Championship, the 11th season of the world's most competitive junior motor racing series, presented since the very beginning by WSK Promotion. There's Thomas Stoltemanis, car 33. Ethan Isher just behind in 21. S. Slater, the championship leader. A full 2 race wins clear of Hiyu Yamakashi. Alex Powell, third in the series from Border, beaten. Thomas in P6 in the championship. KNB, Nakamura Bertha 7th. And Rashid Al-Bahedi still 8th in the championship. He's the Emirati in the Huawei car 14. But you're about to see the blue machine pull to the right of your screen from Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. Rashid Al-Bahedi starts out of grid 2. This is Kabir Anurag, who spoke to Laura Kohler on the grid. The Singaporean, multiple Singaporean drivers in the field. One of 2 Alpine F1 Academy juniors is Kabir, also with experience in WSK World Karting in the KZ2 gearbox category as well. Kabir, car 19, starts on position 19 on this 36 car field. Still the cars form into position. Kostic, Enzo Ye just behind. As the shadows get longer here at Mugello, there's Savinkov, and Viktor Dobzhansky falls into the final grid position on grid 36. Welcome to the MotoGP circuit of Mugello here in Bellissima Toscana. The green flag at the back of the grid, the 5 red lights. Slater on pole position for the second time this weekend. We race. Great start from Rashid from the outside front row of the grid as Nakamura Bertha stalls. Nakamura Bertha finally gets going, and thankfully he's avoided by the rest of the pack as Rashid ranges up behind Slater, but it's Fast Freddy who goes P1. Rashid around the outside. The Emirati means business here this evening. Almost tries to take the lead away from his Prema Racing teammate, but it's Slater who leads up the hill for the first time. Two carts off into the gravel. We see one of the Genza Motorsport cars, either Isha or Frey, and also Maxim Ram, the 71 car is off. Rejoins, and the gravel traps clearly, definitely, concisely defining trap limits here at Mugello. It was Enia Frey dropping down the order. Also Maxim Ram. Great start from Robinson, who's made up positions on the opening lap of the race. The Brit from Mallorca, the 2020 Spanish kart racing champion. In the 62 car for the Slovenian AS Motorsport team. Almost inside the top 20 behind the Sydney side of Kamal Murad and David Ellerini. They jockey for 4 positions up into Corantayo. Slater from Al-Bahedi. Border in position 4. Yamakashi, Jonsson superb. Here's Gustav. And it's Gauda Powell. Back to Beaton. Stoltemanis. And Isha rounds out the top 10. Great start from Darmarco Pradel. He's in position 11. 2 cars into the gravel. And it looks to be Kin Nakamura Berta. 3 cars, in fact, as the dust settles. The safety car comes out onto the circuit. It's Anurag. It is Kabir Anurag and Maxim Ram. This is the reason why into Corantayo. Al-Darene from Saudi as well, making his debut in the series is Omar. Al-Darene also parked in the gravel with Kabir Anurag, who's still in the car. It looks okay. Larini pulls into pit lane. The PHM team to put a new front wing on car 16. And with the safety car, the Italian may not lose a lap. Omar from Saudi Arabia, the steering wheel comes off car 53 for the AKM Motorsport team. And the Saudi Series debutant is out. Fiorentino Filippo also caught up in his second incident of the day. And unfortunately, we have lost the highly rated German Maxim Rem in car 71 for US Racing. The safety car out on the circuit. And thankfully for Aldeheri, Bora, Yamakoshi and Jonsson, it does so because Slater tellingly was already getting away. Into Corantaio. Fiorentino in the middle of your screen, obscured by the dust as the gravel trap perfectly does its job. Kabir Anora could not turn in because there were two cars just in front of the Singaporean. So this will take a moment or two. This is race 2 under safety car conditions. Slater P1, Aldeheri second, Bora, Yamakoshi, Jonsson, Gauda, Powell. We go to Jack Beaton, car 45 on your screen. He's in P8. Filippo Fiorentino for the Crown Motorsport team is out. Maxim Rem, that looks more than a front wing. The German driver for the German team, US Racing. They are the reigning drivers' champions last year with Kasper Stuka, who took 3 victories from 3 starts at the Tuscan Circuit in 2023. Kasper, no doubt watching on live, enjoying his summer break as he races for MP Motorsport in the FIA Formula 3 Championship, preparing for what is almost going to be a home race for the pole in nearby Hungary, or neighbouring Hungary, the next round of the FIA Formula 3 Championship. He won the title last year for US Racing. Van Amersfoort Racing, they won in 2021 with Ollie Behrman and in 2019 with Dennis Hauger. There is Filippo from Brazil, Omar in the foreground. The Saudi and the Brazilian here in the Italian Championship. Both retire in the opening stages of race 2, round 4, the Italian F4 Championship. Tommaso Pradell has made a great start. He's actually been violently ill, and with the warm conditions here, slightly dehydrated. This is his teammate, Matheus Ferreira, head of Kostic, Hodenuis. Maximilian Popov up into P18 ahead of Everett Stack. Still waiting from word from race control. The officials, world class here at the Ferrari-owned Mugello Circuit. Also potentially a problem for Kin Nakamura Berta. Ethan Isher goes through. The Swiss driver in P10 at the moment behind Thomas Dolchemanis. Safety car conditions. The order is Slater, Aldeheri, Porter, Yamakoshi, Jonsson, the duo for the Dutch Van Amersfoort Racing team. Dion Gauda, good start from Dion. He's got by Alex Powell, who started a row ahead of him. The Jamaican leads the rookie standings in this race. Beaton and then Thomas Dolchemanis, the second rookie just behind. As the field come up through Corantaio, the safety car instructed by race control, our race director, to sit between 60 and 80 kilometres an hour. So we'll call that 70. Consistent speed from the race leader, which will be Slater. And it will be another lap at least, as you can see. Still taking some time to remove the cars of Omar and Filippo. 60 to 80 kilometres an hour, consistent speed from the safety car and the race leader when we do go back green, which won't be this lap. So we will start lap 4 under safety car conditions and hopefully go green on lap 5. We'll give you an update from race control as soon as it comes through. The shadow's getting longer here at Mugello, the 4th round of the championship. Freddie Slater so far has taken 8 victories from 10 starts in 2024. Hiyu Yamakashi, the only other race winner so far in 2024. 190 points for Freddie Slater. Yamakashi 139. Powell, 3rd in the championship. He's the rookie on 112 points. Akshay Border, who's currently 3rd in the race. He's 4th in the championship on 108. Jack Beaton, 5th in the series on 86 points. Stoltemanis, 54. Nakamura Bertha, 49. And Rashid Al-Daheri, you can see the Emirati in car 14. 2nd on track and 8th in the series. Hoping we can go green next time round. On a warm summer's evening here, more than 30 degrees Celsius, a beautiful setting here in Bellissima Toscana, or in English, Tuscany. About 40 kilometers from the historic city of Firenze or Florence. Safety car in this lap. We will go green this time around. Slater, Al-Daheri, Border, Yamakashi, and Gustav Jonsson. Gustav has been superb. He's not a rookie. He did win the Rookie Series in the British Championship in 2023. He'll start Grid 2 tomorrow. At the moment, the Swede in car 36 is in P5. So the safety car procedure, it will accelerate, pull into pit lane. Just on 1 kilometre from the start-finish line. There's Beaton going on through. Then it is up to Slater to dictate the pace. It is up to the race leader, as long as he keeps it consistent. As the lights go off on the safety car, it accelerates down into pit lane. It is up to Slater to decide when to go. Safety car in this lap as we passed 1/3 race distance. Fiorentino is out, Omar Aldarene is out, Kabir Anurag is out, and Maxim Rem still parked in pit lane. The German driver for the German team. Effectively, his evening is over. Davide Ladini has rejoined the race with a new front wing. Has not gone down a lap. He's still in 32nd position behind Gabriel Holguin and Luca Vistoriano. Slater predictably backs the field up. Down into turn 15. Rashid trying to stay with him. Reminiscent of the Tuscan Formula One Grand Prix a couple of seasons ago, where there was chaos at well over 250 kilometers an hour, where the field are approaching now. We almost saw a repeat of that this morning when Jack Beaton led away. The green flag is flying on the start-finish straight. Now Slater goes. Border's got a great run behind Rashid Al-Daheri, who was nervous about making any sort of error after coming to grief in a similar situation this morning. We race back green. Slater, Al-Daheri, Border. Akshay ranges up on the outside of the Emirati as the two Van Amersfoort racing drivers. Gustav sends it down the inside of Hiyu Yamakashi, right behind Gowder and Powell as well. The Prema Racing teammates go wheel to wheel. So do the VAR duo. Up to Borgo San Lorenzo, the highest part of the circuit. Matarasi down to Casanova. Slater, good restart from Rashid Al-Daheri. Gustav Jonsson has got through into P4. Olivieri with a great restart as well. Ahead of Francott, Frey, Ferreira, Kostic, Hodenuis, Popov, Robinson up into P19. That's a great start for the first of the two AS Motorsport drivers. Slater, the gap is 0.4 of a second. As you look at Jack under attack from Thomas Stoltemanis. Beaton, who came so close to taking his maiden victory in the Italian F4 Championship before Slater took the lead on the penultimate lap of the race. You see Gianmarco Pradel fighting and giving space to Ethan Isher just ahead. That almost ends in contact. Great racing from these two. They give each other space as they race down into turn 15. There's Olivieri for the AKM Motorsport team. So we will start lap 6 with Slater in the lead. Rashid Al-Dahedi is not far behind his English teammates. The Emirati, the gap down to 0.3 of a second. Olivieri behind Bradell. Ahead of Frey, Frankov for Herrera. Rashid around the outside. The Emirati on the attack. Slater has been caught by Rashid Al-Dahedi. Tucks in under the rear wing. There's an opportunity. And watch Akshay in the background. Gustav Jonsson is coming for all three of them. The Swede is absolutely flying here this evening at Mugello. Yamakashi, there's Gowder and Powell. Beaton, Isha, Thomas, Stolchamanis, just ahead of Gianmarco Pradell. Isha ahead of Thomas as the field race down through Arabiata 1, Arabiata 2, and then climb uphill. Oh, one of the Jensen Motorsport cars in trouble. Dropping way down the field as Enya Frey. It looks as though he's stalled it in a precarious part of the circuit. Safety car on track. The safety car, again, frustratingly but necessarily, has come out onto the circuit. Enya Frey parked in an unraceable position of the circuit. It looks to be down into Arabiata 1. Rashid Al-Dahedi, with a super restart, was just centimetres away from Slater. The shadows get longer. There's Robinson going through. He's had a great race so far, just ahead of Kamal Murad. Head behind Olivieri. And Enya Frey, that looks as though it's more than a stall. And yes, there's damage to the right rear. Undrivable. Enya Frey is out. We'll try and pick up what has happened to the Swiss Jensen Motorsport driver. Damage to the right rear, and frustratingly but necessarily, the safety car comes out onto the circuit for the second time. It's actually up into San Donato, as you can see. Into turn 1. This will be a swift safety car intervention. Down into pit lane also is Davide Lardini for the second time. There's Enya Frey. Lardini also in pit lane, the second generation racer. The Tuscan driver here in Tuscany, a new front wing, but it looks as though there is more damage than we can visibly see from the outset on car 16. Lardini down in pit lane. Visoriano, Holguin are the final runners in 29th and 30th position. Safety car in this lap. So the second half of the race, there's Olivieri coming on through. Behind Linhot Denuis in car 88, the Dutchman. Still hurting both he and Reno Francot after their loss to England in the semi-finals the other night. A big week for British sport, of course, at Wimbledon taking place this weekend, the Wimbledon final. There's Gianmarco going through the British Grand Prix, where George, Lewis and Lando, 1, 2, 3 on the grid before Sir Hamilton took another victory in the British Formula One Grand Prix. And of course, tomorrow night, the big one. I know half of the paddock, half of our viewers don't care, but it is a big issue here in Europe. England versus Spain in Euro 2024 tomorrow night. And of course, this weekend, the Italian Championship being led by the Englishman. Last week, also, the Rotax European Kart Racing Championships at nearby Franciacorta, when Matthew Higgins took his second victory in a row, and the Englishman 1, 2, 3 in the Rotax Euro Series. Sean Butcher, Matthew Higgins, Macaulay Bishop with one round to race at South Garda Karting. Sister Series also presented by WSK Promotion. the 19th season for WSK World Competition, and this the 11th season of the Italian F4 Championship. One English champion in the series history, that was Ollie Behrman in 2021. We have passed the halfway point of the series with the halfway point of this race to round 4 of the Italian Championship under a setting sun here in Bellissima Toscana. Freddie stares at the rear view mirror. He backs the field up. He can do that. He has the right. He's in position 1. The green flag is flying. He waits. Rashid right behind the rear wing of Slater. Now he goes. Good reaction from Rashid Al-Bahedi as the field scatter at the back of the pack. Slater accelerates. The problem for the Emirati is Akshay Bora's got away nicely as well. Gustav Jonsson on the inside. Gustav sends it down the inside. Jonsson takes the both of them. What a restart from the Swede. Goes wide on the exit. Gustav Jonsson from P4 briefly up into second place. Border's gone through into P2. Rashid frustratingly back into third. Slater, Border, Gustav Jonsson now up onto the podium for the Van Amersfoort racing team. Pradel and Reno Frankot fighting just outside the top 10. Ferocious racing. Kostic, Popov, Olivieri, Hotenuous, Robinson, Murad, and Kim Nakamura Bertha. Enzo Ye, Oscar Wirtz just ahead of Petrovic, Berabi. Good start from Nathaniel. Rodella, Stack from the United States. There is Ed Robinson going right through in the middle of the pack. Finding his feet in his first year in the Italian Championship for the AES Motorsport team as the leaders go up into Correntaio. The sportsmanship warning flag for Andrea Kostic. The 20-minute mark. We go into the final third of race 2 with 2 safety car interruptions. Frankot on the outside of Stoltemanis. Don't tell me he's done it. What a move by Reno. Fantastic pass by the Dutchman. And he takes Thomas Stoltemanis for P10. Gives the slipstream, though, to Pradel and Ferreira, the 2 US racing drivers. Just behind, they fan out as they race uphill into turn 1. Slight lock-up from Gustav Jonsson. And Rashid goes through. Al-Bahedi back on the podium. Goes left and then right. And that's the inside line. And Gustav, after that super restart, falls back a position. Rashid, who was fighting with Slater after the first safety car intervention. Al-Bahedi back into P3. He's got the speed here this weekend. There's Border in second place. Seven-tenths of a second between Slater and Border as they go down through Arrabbiata 1, Arrabbiata 2. The shadows get longer, the sun sets here in Bellissima Toscana. Pradel and Beaton, the 2 Australians, 9 and 10. Rashid Al-Bahedi with a 150.622. Some speed off their qualifying times, but the fastest lap of the race as we pass the 22-minute mark of this 30-minute plus 1 lap race 2. It's going to say final race. That's tomorrow morning. Race 3. This is Border. Akshay Bora, race 2 last year, finished P3 behind Ugo Ugachuko and Kasper Stuka. Ugo, of course, going on to win the inaugural Euro 4 Championship, which is back as Jack goes through the 3-round championship. Back here on August 25, so 5 weeks from now, 6 weeks from now. The end of next month, the Euro 4 Championship. Won last year for the first time by the McLaren Junior, Ugo Ugachukwu. Up into San Donato. Dion Gauda tries to defend from Ethan Isha. The next corner goes left, and the Swiss driver takes him. Slides sideways on the exit of Borgo San Lorenzo. Nice pass by Isha, moves up into P7. Marco Pradell has taken his countryman. Beaten back to 10. Pradell into P9. This is Gowda, this is Dion. In car 50 behind Ethan Isha now, who's already left space on the Indian Singaporean. Climbing the hill to the top part of the circuit. Isha from Gowda, Pradell. Alex Powell still the top rookie. The Mercedes AMG Junior in 6th place outright. Beaton trying to make his way up through. There's Rashid going through in P4. Jonsson, his teammate, Hiyu Yamakashi, still second in the series. The field spreading out here, and Slater with a lead of just 0.6 of a second. Bora trying to take his first victory of 2024, the Italian series. Akshay Bora still 4th in the championship. He's not far off. We'll check the gap. Comes down a 10th or 2 as he gets a slipstream from Slater as the field race across the line. This is Beaton from Stoltemanis. Watch for Hedda just behind, who's finally found form after a strong run previously at Vallelunga. For Hedda on the outside. Stoltemanis has to defend. The boy from Brazil tries to send it down the inside, and Thomas closes the door. Kostic, Adenuis just behind. Then it's Olivieri and Maximilian Popov. Stoltemanis under attack at the moment, car 33 in P11. It's Olivieri going on through for the AKM Motorsport team of Marco and Andrea Antonelli. Straight through the gravel trap. Alvise Rodella just a few moments ago. There aren't acres of asphalt runoff area as Oscar Wirtz on the outside of Luca Vistoriano feeds him the left rear. And Oscar Wirtz, whose grandfather was European Rallycross champion back in the day, his older brother Felix also racing Rallycross until taking up a successful and growing career as a DJ. Well, Oscar needed to channel his older brother and grandfather's skills there because the Romanian just fed him a wheel. And Oscar Wirtz, on debut in the Italian Championship, into the gravel, falls back to 23rd position. Into the final 5 minutes. The gap 0.5 of a second. If Bora can just get that fraction closer, he does. He gets the slipstream. This is Savinkov on the inside of Dobzhinsky, who gets airborne in spectacular fashion. The Ukrainian and the Pole, they fight down in the final positions. Again, the gravel trap does its job. That was almost up and over. Savinkov, Dobzhansky fighting for 28th position. As we focus in on this battle between Pradell and Gowda. The gap down to 0.3 of a second between the leaders, Slater and Border. And look at this as Dobzhansky limps back to the pits. Fortunately, the car is drivable, but likely to have quite a bit of damage to the suspension. Victor Dobzhansky. Jack Beaton just ahead of Ferreira, Frankot, Kostic, Linhotenuis, and Maximilian Popov for the PHM team as well. The gap still 0.3 of a second between Slater and Bora as the Van Amersfoort Racing teammates Kostic and Herdenuis go wheel to wheel. Kostic in car 8, Herdenuis in 88. Beaten under attack. Surely he can't defend. And loses the position. There's Popov just behind Herdenuis. Nakamura Berta, who lost time earlier on. So Reno Frankot goes through and makes the place. He's now into P12, trying to get at least a point out of this. Still Rashid Al-Bahedi with the fastest lap of the race. with a 49 dead as we go back to the fight for the lead. Border, the gap was 0.6 of a second. You can now see Akshay is on the back of Slater. He saved his best until the dying stages, 2 minutes plus 1 lap remaining. Slater did likewise to beaten in race 2, but now it looks as though the tables have turned for the Englishman. Rashid's not out of this as well. The Huawei backed car 14, the driver from the Emirates. He took race wins in the UAE F4 Series, looking for his maiden victory outright in the Italian Championship on the back of Bora. We believe 2 laps remaining at the end of this one, depending on when they cross the line, as Slater uses every piece of the racetrack. Slater tries to withstand the pressure, turns in late and hard, and car 27 responds. Good front end turn in. It is the Prema Racing drivers in 1 and 3, split by Bora. Out of Corontayo, down through the S's into Buccine, turn 15. Bora trying to get close enough to get the slipstream and make a move up into turn 1. Rashid likewise almost locks up the brake, needs to keep the car straight. Just drifts on the exit. Slater so close to the gravel. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you define track limits. Forget the white line. The gravel trap does the job, as indeed Bora does get the slipstream from Freddie Slater. They race across the line at over 230 k's an hour. Bora on the back of Slater. Will he send it down the inside? Slater puts car 27 in the middle of the circuit. Rashid is catching the both of them. The dying stages. This is the penultimate lap of race 2. We have passed the halfway point of the championship. Bora has a big look at the back of Slater. Just lets the Englishman know he's there. Now, does Freddie think about the championship, or does he take his 9th victory from 11 starts in a lap and a half's time? So close to the edge of the circuit. Precision driving by the Englishman. Bora rides the ripple strip as they race down into Arrabbiata 1, Arrabbiata 2, the corners which literally translate into Angry 1, Angry 2. Rides the ripple strip, grinds over the curb in a move that Tony Hawk would have been proud of, and gets another car length clear of Bora. He turns in as well. Both the front ends working nicely on the Prema and US racing cars. Last lap, next time round, into Corontayo. Wider turn in from Slater. He'll get the engine RPM, just a few on the exit. Slight correction though. That gives Bora hope. Wringing the neck out of car 31 down into Buccini. He's further back this time though. Slater just needs a good strong exit. Bora down through the gearbox in turn 15. Just kisses the ripple strip on the inside. Again, Slater so close to the edge of the circuit. Races across the line to get the last lap board. Slater on track for his incredible 9th victory of the season. Stares at the left side mirror to see Bora right behind him. Akshay too far back to attack, but he tries it. Tucks back in. Again, correction. He's burning the rear Pirelli tyres. Here's Slater. Poggio Secco Materassi, and the highest point of the circuit, Borgo San Lorenzo. The sun setting here in Tuscany. Correction from Slater. He's fighting with car 27. It's not over yet. Superb skill from the Englishman. Rashid on the podium, but he desperately wants his maiden victory. Superb skill from Slater. Bora just that too far back to capitalise. Again, he almost runs off the road. The sun glaring through the visor, and now they come under the shadows here in bellissima Toscana. Rashid at the moment, the Emirati in 3rd place. Bora too far back to attack into Corontayo. They race downhill through the S's. Surely he won't do it. Freddie Slater superb. Car 27 for the Prema Racing team. US Racing, who took 3 victories from 3 starts in 2023 with Casper Stuka. Ollie Behrman won the 2021 championship for the Van Amersfoort Racing Team. As they come out of turn 15, do we have another British champion in 2024? The checkered flag waves. Fast Freddy from the King's England. What a week it's been for British sport. Slater takes the victory. Border, another podium here this evening. And Rashid Al Dahedi from the Emirates puts car 14 on the podium in 3rd place. Slater again. Untouchable is the Englishman. Robertson crosses the line. Head of Enzo Ye, Vistoriano, Petrovic, Wirtz, Kamal Murad, Holguin, Stark, Savinkov, Derby, Hortenuous, the first of quite a few retirements. Freddie Slater. We have passed the halfway point of the championship. We have raced 11 of 21 races, 7 rounds, 3 races per round, and Freddie has won 9 of them. The oldest of the 5 Slater siblings. His younger brother Alfie racing in the Ginetta Championship this weekend, and Freddie takes his 2nd victory of the day to cement his lead in the championship. Slater takes the victory. Akshay Border in 2nd place, and Rashid Al Dahedi makes up for this morning's mishap, and the Emirati comes home on the podium in 3rd place. Jonsson P4 Yamakoshi, Alex Powell with the rookie victory. Andrea Kostic, 13th outright, and the 3rd rookie home behind Alex and Thomas Stolchamanis. Freddie Slater, 9 victories from 11 starts for the Englishman. He wins again here at Mugello. There's Border through absolutely everything at Slater. Came up short by just 0.2 of a second. And Rashid Al Dahedi for the Yas Heat Marina team comes home in 3rd place. You can see the disappointment from Rashid. He did want the victory there. Came close, was attacking Slater on the 2nd restart. We'll hear from Freddie Slater in a moment. Laura Kohler is down there, and we'll get a word with the race winner again in 2024. Freddie Slater wins, and he's speaking with Laura Kohler.
Another important win for you. You never lost the control of the situation. A very tough race. Congratulations.
Yeah, you know, with that many safety cars and these rules, they're so tough to deal with. So it definitely makes it very challenging for the leader. And yeah, that was me today. So it made it super difficult. But no, good race in the end. I think we struggled a little bit of pace, so we've got to see why that was. But no, it's been a good day so far, and we'll see tomorrow, and hopefully we can keep it up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The highlights of race 2 coming up here at Mugello. Freddie Slater celebrates as he goes up to the podium. From pole position, Freddie Slater with a good restart as King Nakamura Bertha stalled from the 4th row of the grid, did get going and was lucky to be avoided by the rest of the pack. Rashid with a great start tried to go around the outside of Slater, almost took the lead away from the Englishman. A relatively clean start as 36 cars racing up to the highest part of the circuit for the first time, with the exception of Maxim Rem, who went straight off into the gravel. The German ultimately retired, as did Algerene, Fiorentino and Kabir Anurag. Off the restart, Slater controlled the pace. They scattered behind. Gustav Johansson from P4 centred down the inside, just went in too deep. Border took him back, but briefly the Swede took the lead of that battle. Oscar Wirtz and Luca Vissoriano, the young rookies, going wheel to wheel. Savinkov, and watch this, Viktor Dobzhansky almost up and over. And again, the gravel trap does its job. Slater fighting with tyres which faded towards the end, but he controlled the pace as Border closed in on the back of the Englishman. But it was Freddie Slater who took victory, his 9th from 11 starts in the 2024 championship. Slater wins again here at Mugello. Rashid Al-Dahedi, great to see the Emirati on the podium. Border in second, and P1 for the 9th time from 11 starts for Freddie Slater. Once again, a great pleasure to have Mr. Giancarlo Minardi present the trophies here. 3rd place to Rashid, nice to see him smile as well. Akshay just 0.2 of a second away from a victory. Freddie Slater wins again. What a week it has been for British sport. It'll be even better for them if they get up over Spain tomorrow night. That's going to be a big challenge, and it will be an even bigger challenge for the 35 drivers to beat Freddie Slater, who takes his 2nd victory of the day. We hope you enjoyed the coverage. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning for race 3, round 4 here at Mugello. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.